Hey guys, it is Coach AP coming at you through the video scope here in St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada. And we are going to be recapping Provincial weekend, Provincial Championship weekend here on the island. Lots of hockey going down, lots of AAA hockey on the male and female side of the biscuit. And without further ado, let's get ready to rumble. This video is brought to you by Supplement King. 2 locations in St. John's to serve you. 1 location is in Galway. The other location's on Torbay Road. Check them out. Say hi to Joey. They do a lot of prize packs with us for our small group skills training classes, and we are super happy to have them on board with helping us out and doing that for us. Thank you very much, Joey and team. All right, so we'll start off with the under 13 AAA girls. Now that wasn't this weekend. It was a couple of weeks ago over on the West Coast in Corner Brook. Check out our YouTube video. The video link will be in the description of this one. We did a little recap of that. The Eastern Icebreakers won that. Actually, the Eastern Icebreakers swept female hockey, AAA hockey, this past couple of weeks. So kudos to the Eastern Icebreakers hockey programs, hockey system. That's pretty impressive. You don't see that very often where you have a clean sweep across 3 levels. So we're going to talk about that today. Now, under 13 AAA guys. Now, I was coaching the Hitmen this year. This was a broken season where, you had the COVID break in between. We only did 2 weekends before the COVID shutdown. Then we had some exhibition games, and we had Provincial. So it didn't really feel like a full year of hockey. Kudos to the Tri-Com Thunder for winning the championship today out at Bay Arena. And great job by Bay Arena. Bay Arena did a great job of, running that event. Tri-Pen Ice did a really good job of running the event. The crowd last night's game was raucous. It was actually a lot of fun to coach in an under 13 AAA game that had a rowdy crowd like that. Something that you definitely miss, especially after this COVID era where, the restricted crowds or no crowds at all. So it was really fun to coach and participate in that. And kudos to Tri-Com for their big win. They didn't trail all season long, which is mighty impressive. They have a wagon of a hockey team, and I think that they are going to compete at the Atlantic level. So congratulations, Shane Skinner, Justin Parsons, all their team, all the players that come to Vision Hockey Group, Gavin Carlson, Ryan Jewer, Graham Clary off the top of my head. Jack Hutch, can't forget you too, Hutch. Awesome job, guys. Super, super proud of you. And best of luck at the Atlantics in a couple weeks' time. All right. Well, actually, another shout-out, the Tri-Pen Ice for making the final. And 2 more shout-outs. I'm just going to keep on going again. It's off the cuff today. We're going to go with 2 shout-outs. 1, the Tri-Pen Ice. They wanted to get to the finals really, really bad, and you could tell by the way they were blocking shots, the way they were doing little things. They competed. Might not be the most talented club ever graced the ice, but I tell you what, they deserved to be in that final game today. The hockey gods and karma, they do exist, and their karma was such that they deserved to make it to the finals to play Tri-Com. Shout out to their goaltenders. Matthew Hunt, excellent, and Sam Pitcher is an absolute wall. He played against us last night, and he was hard to beat. Our speech before the game was, we almost got to score first because he might not give up a goal. And, we got down 3-1. And him giving up 3 is a stretch. He is just really, really good. We threw a lot of rubber at him, and he fights through saves. He makes saves, holds on to the rebounds, and he's a big boy. Look out for him this year at the AC, or look out, not at the ACC, look out for him at the HPP under 14 level as an 09 goalie. Kudos to you, Pitcher family. 3 players in that Pitcher family playing provincial hockey this weekend. That's impressive. And Central's goaltender was a female too. I don't know her name. I think her last name is Hurley. She was exceptional against us today. Made probably 60 stops. Wow. The under 16 female division for the HPP this year in Team Newfoundland is going to be competitive. There are a lot of good goalies in the 07, 08, and 09 age groups, and this Hurley girl is one of them. Wow, she was good. not making the easy saves, but also making the near impossible saves, breakaways, shots from the slot, fights through traffic to make saves, holds like just really good goalie. And I tell you what, we have an embarrassment of riches in goal this year, and a lot of good goalies to pick from this year in the under 16 female. All right, let's move on to the under 15 AAA girls. Now, under 15 AAA guys, they get going next weekend in CBS. Best of luck to all of our clients and players in that. I will be at a lot of those games. I think it's going to be a 3-horse race between Tricom, Tri-Pen, and the Hitman. With the Hitman, I think might have a slight edge because, you know, those two goaltenders with the Hitman, Arnold and Carter, they are battle tested and experienced. And I think I'd probably give them the edge in goal. So that's probably where I'm going to tip my hat to if I was to predict or project who may be successful at the under 15 AAA guys provincial level. But you just never know in these events, and we'll talk about that in the under 18 female. Okay, under 15 AAA girls, and a little bit of a surprise seeing Western sneak by Central. But Earl, I did a video the other day. I was going to post it, and I didn't. And it was a preview of the provincials. I did it on Thursday night. One thing I said was the most parity was going to be in the under 15 AAA female division. Central were in first place, but they played Western a couple of weeks ago, and I watched the game. I was like, man, there's not much difference between the first and the fourth place teams in this conference, or first and third and fourth in this conference. And Eastern, kudos, Eastern were a good team. They ended up sweeping. They won their 2 out of 3 series, which I like. I like a 2 out of 3 series. They go on and they beat Tri-Pen, and then they beat Western in the final. I expected to see Central there, but Central, I think overall in under 15, under 18, probably you could say underachieved a little bit. I think they had better teams than they showed in these events. But again, it's just any given weekend, anything can happen in these types of formats. So kudos to the Eastern Icebreakers, a couple of our clients there on that team, and well-run organization there. I think that they'll be just fine at the Atlantic level. We will see. I think that's coming up at the end of April. Not sure what province it's in, but best of luck to the Breakers in under 15 AAA female. Now let's move on to under 18 guys. Now the Pinnacle Growlers are going to move on. They swept the Central Impact 4-0 in their best of 7 series. 2 big wins in the Cathedral of Senior Hockey, the Joe Byrne Memorial Stadium, this past weekend. And I just think that the Growlers just had a little bit too much for the Impact. Their forwards are a little bit too much. The Hiscocks, the Butlers, the Wittenvich, Kernew line, the Morgan Porters of the world. They just had too many horses for the Impact's defense to be able to handle that speed and that skill. It just was a little bit too much for that young team. But look out for Central next year. I think guys like Party are back. You look at Carter Lambert starting to develop. He's going to be back. Leo Adams likely back. Ryan Small is a good hockey player. He's likely going to be back. So that's going to be the nucleus of their hockey team next year. They have to play better team defense, and I think they have to probably add a defenseman or two. I think Strickland will come up from that under 15 AAA program and slide in and probably be a draft eligible prospect for them. But look, and they're going to, I think they'll rely on a guy probably like Adam Hedges in goal. I don't know who else they'll have there. They lose Mitchell Dinn, who's a big loss for their program. But I think that Central, they're on the up and up. I probably projected them. I was a little bit overzealous on Central this year, thinking that their young guys are going to be able to carry them to maybe a finals finish. But that was just a little bit too aggressive. Maybe next season, they're probably a year away. Best of luck to Central. A lot of great people out there. A lot of great players, too. Shout out. Blizzard and the Osprey. This is an interesting situation. You get the Osprey go into the Glacier in Game 3 and lay it down on the Blizzard. And I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be a sweep. I mean, you're losing Hawkins and brothers to, I think, Provincial basketball. They go out and play basketball. Hawkins being a first-line center, you lose him, and you're saying to yourself, this team seems to be kind of in a little bit of turmoil, backs to the wall. I mean, I didn't really like their chances in Game 4, but they go out and they get 2 big wins at home. Now, I think sometimes you get into a situation in anything. When you lose a player, it's an opportunity for somebody else. And this was a great opportunity for Noah King to slide up into Hawkins' spot with Lovelace, with Toole. I'm assuming that's who they put him with, and he did not disappoint. 2 goals in Saturday's game. I think he had a bushel in Sunday's match as well. King is an underrated player. Junior A teams need to take note of this kid. He's an 05. He's good in all zones. He has a very nice skating stride. He does the little things. He goes to the net. He plays good defense. He uses his stick well. I just think it's a situation where the Blizzard, the depth chart didn't really add up for him, where they liked Hawkins from the year before playing with Toole and Lovelace, and they liked Noble, and they liked Noble, and they like Mitchell Moore playing with Tucker. So then you're getting, the minutes start to shrink down a little bit for a guy like King. But to me, King is at bare minimum a top 2-line center, and I think he could be a middle 6 forward at the junior A level if somebody gave him a genuine opportunity. Best of luck to you, Noah. Hopefully that we continue to see those minutes going up for the Blizzard in Game 6 when you guys head out to Tri-Pen for Game 6. I think it's probably going to be Friday or Saturday. That will be a very fun carnival-like atmosphere out around the Bay. Probably going to have to try to get out to that one as I am free next weekend. Under 18 AAA female, then I'm done. Under 18 AAA female, it goes to show that anything can happen on any given weekend when you have a lot of parity. And there's a lot of parity in the under 18 female division. You look at Tri-Pen, probably the leader in the clubhouse this year. Then you have Central, who beat them 2 out of 3 out in the Beothuk Arena, home of Grace Goodyear, a couple of weeks ago in exhibition play. So you're thinking, well, maybe Central are the team to beat in this division. And they go and lose to Western, who I thought were a better team on paper than they had showed all season. So, it was like everybody was beating everybody. And Eastern, they go out, they play Central in the Saturday night game. They needed to win to get to the final, and backs kind of against the wall, do or die game, and they go out and they beat Central, knocking them out. Then they go to the final against Tri-Pen, and listen, I didn't watch the game, but if I was betting on these games, I would have bet money on Tri-Pen. I just felt like they had a lot of horses. They were going to play those horses a great deal. And I don't think Eastern had beaten them all year. I think, and in the round robin, they beat them 6-3 or 7-3. It was pretty handily. Tri-Pen beat them in CBN a couple weeks ago, 8-1. And then they beat them 6-5 the next night. But still, I don't think that Eastern had been in the same stadium in some of the games that I had watched those two teams play. Fast forward a month, and I didn't see the game, but I would imagine that Eastern just came out and outworked Tri-Pen, which is odd. You would never think that, because Tri-Pen, they got, that Bay mentality, that hard-working mentality. Eastern kind of turned the tables on them, and Eastern gave them a little taste of their own medicine, I think. That's a team that, a couple of those players are hard-working players, hard to play against. From all accounts, Haley Ryan brought her A game to Corner Brook this past weekend and really showed everybody that she is a college player. She should play college hockey in a couple of years' time if she wants to. I think she's got a great deal of talent. Players like Rachel Hopkins deserve an opportunity to move on with the game. You got Julia Butler buzzing around. You got Abby Fleet, Brooklyn Kitchen can score when you give them an opportunity. It is in the back of the net. So, I was just concerned about the goaltending on Eastern, but apparently they got goaltending. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it that Eastern would have gotten the goaltending that they needed after losing Maggie Jones to Mount Academy and losing Erica Penny to Northwood Prep? Both likely going to get college commitments. Maggie Jones just committing to Morrisville State. Congratulations, Maggie, committing to D3. That's awesome. Mount Academy, just keep pumping out those commitments. Good on you, Kenny and Rebecca Babiak. I think that's 16, count them, in the past 2 years. That's impressive on the female side. And Erica Penny likely going to commit to a school soon. Looking forward to seeing that announcement in the near future. So, all right, that's it for me. I am Coach AP. I'm with my statistician, Mia. When you hear these weird noises, that's her crying. Best of luck to every team at the Atlantics coming up. And looking forward to seeing a lot of these players at the Hockey Newfoundland High Performance Program, whether it be on the male and female side. And I am